I don't really know how to start this, so I'm just gonna say it. Insurgency Sandstorm, it's amazing. It's super realistic. The infantry combat is super fucking fun. The sound design is absolutely incredible in literally every aspect possible. Excuse me. I'm kind of sick right now, if you guys can't tell. But anyways, the way your teammates, the way the enemies are always screaming, or the constant like sounds of gunfire, explosions, planes, helicopters. It's pretty good. It makes you feel like you're there. I like it a lot. But anyways, back into the game's history a little here. Insurgency was originally created in 2007 as a total conversion mod for Valve's, well, at the time, revolutionary Source engine, which gave it a good chance at a community early on because the Source engine was super fucking popular in 2007. You know, Half-Life, Gary's Mod, whatever. I'm not gonna lie and say that I was there to see the fucking when it came out. I was born in 2005, so I was like 2 years old when this game came out. Came out October 23rd of 2007, which was a long fucking time ago. But when I saw the trailer for the console version that was releasing last year, or not last year, sorry, 2 years ago, 2021, I was fucking hooked. Alright, it looked literally like the best game I had ever seen when it came to the combat, and I always wanted something like that on consoles, but since I have a super shitty PC, I never got to really play games like this, so a tactical shooter like this on console felt like a fucking godsend. Anyways, enough babbling about the history and shit. Let's get into the actual gameplay. The gameplay element of this game, the game has two teams, insurgents and security, and my personal favorite is being on security because they have a lot of shit. The game's roles and loadout system's pretty basic. With the loadout system, it gives you some points, and you can, pick and choose what you want. If you want heavy armor, light armor, whatever, more ammo, like to carry around or less. You're the, light carrier, heavy carrier, that type of thing. You get to choose your guns, your secondary. There's a couple roles in this. There's the rifleman, the breacher, the gunner, demolitions, marksman, advisor, observer, and commander. I'll just start with my personal favorite and kind of just make my way through this list because there's a good bit of stuff going on here. An observer's job is to basically always stay near the commander if they can, right? Because the observer, they carry this radio, which can be used to call in fire support on a location that the commander sets with binoculars. Basically, when the commander's holding these binoculars, he can hold down the right bumper, or R1 if you play on PlayStation, which I do, on his controller. Sorry, I'm sick as fuck. It'll bring up this little radio menu, which if you don't know what radio menu is, it's like a little circular menu. Continuing on, it'll bring up this little radio menu of each fire support type, and these types are different depending on your team. So security, which is closer to, U.S. Marines, basically, they have much higher, end fire support than the insurgents do. For example, the security team will have helicopter gunships and the autocannon strafes, which are delivered through the infamous A-10 Warthog, while the insurgents will have things like bomber drones, chemical mortars, which I don't know if chemical mortars are still allowed to be used in war, but they use them in this game. The next class, which is my second favorite, to be honest, behind the observer, because I hate being commander, the gunner. The gunner is fun. Your job is literally just to carry around this big-ass LMG or light machine gun if you want to be all technical and shit. The gunner just provides fire support. He suppresses the enemies or he just kills them. It's one or the other. But he has a lot of different weapons to choose from, but my favorite has to be the M249 SAW. The SAW in that stands for Squad Automatic Weapon, by the way, for those who don't know. Anyways, next class, the advisor uses a lot of weapons that are not available to other roles, like the MK17 Mod 0, which is a fully automatic or semi-automatic battle rifle, which is usually, when I play, it's best paired with a magnified optic, because I like to shoot in semi a lot, personally. The full auto on the the full auto on the MK17 is not used a lot due to its fucking insane recoil, but it's still usable if you're using like a regular one-times like holographic sight or something like that with a foregrip or some type of recoil compensation there. But MK17 is a great fucking weapon. I love it. The next class, the marksman, their role is super simple. Their main job is to pretty much hang back and cover the team from a distance. You know, maybe like if the team's going in a building, they'll try to, you know, pick off enemies outside of that building. And the demolitions role is, well, demolitions. He carries around a regular gun, like they usually carry the rifleman type of weapons, like the M16 or the M4, all that type of stuff. But with the demolitions, you do have the option to add a rocket launcher or an IED, or, you know, improvised explosive device, for those who don't know what an IED stands for. Which personally, I don't play demolitions a lot, but I'm just here to explain how this game works. So yeah, the breacher is really fun to play if you have a really coordinated team. If you're playing breacher, you usually go in a room first. You can either use a shotgun or an SMG. My personal favorite when it comes to the shotguns has to be the M870, but in the SMG class, the MP5A5 is pretty fucking good. But last but not least, you got the rifleman. It's pretty basic. You just carry an assault rifle, and most of the time you have a secondary pistol, but some people opt for a different option, which is spending all your points on your rifle and grenades and armor, rather than having a backup weapon. But that's besides the point. Who cares? So now let's move on to the objectives. The objectives, there's technically three different types of objectives, really. There's a regular, good old capture objective. Basically, it's just, if you've ever played Battlefield, or Call of Duty also has this, but you just go into the objective, capture it, boom. Like Battlefield's Conquest, but, you know, it changes in Battlefield. So with this game's capture objectives, there's two different types. There's a normal capture objective, where you can just kind of, you know, walk right in, clear the room of hostiles, and then you dig in until, you know, you capture the objective. But with the other type of capture objective, there is a defense wave, which basically, once you capture this objective, instead of the marker being grayed out, which shows that the objective is secure, it will switch to a defend state. If your team dies while you're defending, well, hold on, let me go back a little bit. This defend state, basically, you sit in this objective and waves of enemies will come at you and sometimes even bombard you with explosives, chemical mortars, smoke mortars, or just regular explosives, and you have to fend off the enemies until the objective is completely secured, which usually takes around a couple of minutes. But when you actually get this objective, like I said earlier, the icon will gray out and it'll say secured, and then you can move on to the next objective. But if your team dies while you are all defending this objective, you lose the round and the map restarts, which will spawn you back at your original spawn, and, you know, it restarts, like I said. But the second objective type is the destroy objective, and this one usually has enemies sprinkled around the area in it, or in the objective zone specifically. They're not all over the map, you know. But normally with these destroy objectives, there's enemies surrounding it. It's like an ammo and weapons cache. It's basically just a pile of boxes of ammunition, but it's always in a set location on the objective zone. To destroy these, though, you mainly want to clear the area. I mean, you don't have to necessarily. You could just run in there with a rocket launcher and blow the hell out of it. But normally, if you're coordinated and you want to be like an actual squad, you have to clear the area of any enemies, and then you go in and plant an IED or improvised explosive device, like I said earlier, if you don't know what that is. And you plant that onto the cache, but you might want to get you and your team away from that building, because you probably want to avoid friendly fire whenever you can. Anyways, I think I've wasted enough time here with you guys. Let's move on to the outro section of this video. Overall, I really recommend this game to people who love first-person shooters, or just games in general. If you have the money for it, it's like a $40 game, I think, which is $20 less than the average. Well, now $30 less than the average game if you have a PS5. But a lot of people probably already know about this game's existence, but I kind of just wanted to help introduce people to this game. You know, wanted to spread this community out to more people other than just nerdy gamers who just fantasize about war all the time. And yeah, I want to say thank you for watching this all the way through, or to just listening to my voice, because I'm sure it sounds awful since I'm sick as shit. And also thank you for my subscribers for being amazing people and supporting me in this. Anyways, I'll stop ranting and I'll let you guys enjoy some gameplay footage that I'll most likely slap some music onto to make it a little bit more entertaining. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day.